Watch this video to learn how to play classic dance from the Piano Adventures Level 1 lesson book. This is classic dance. Classic dance is a piece that is going to allow us to work on combining all of those skills that we have been working on in Unit 1. We're going to be combining our legato and our staccato. We're going to be working on steps and skips, and we're going to be working on reading a line of notes by focusing on the note heads to see whether they're moving up or down. Let's start by looking at some overview information for this piece. First, classic dance is written in the C 5-finger scale. There is a blank space up by the title where you can write in the letter C like I just did. Next, let's find the time signature for this piece. Do you see it? The time signature is in front of the music right here, and this time signature says 3/4 time. Now, if you remember, 3/4 time is a time signature that is used for a lot of dances. The top number tells us that there will be 3 beats in every measure, and the bottom number says that a quarter note gets a beat. Let's also take note of the tempo marking right here. It says rather quickly. Now, when we first learn how to play this piece, we are going to learn it at a slow speed where we can feel control of everything that we're playing, because in music, fast is last. After you feel that you have control of all of the notes and dynamics of this piece, there will be a separate video, a tempo workshop, for you to work on getting it up to rather quickly speed. I'm going to outline the first line of music here in Red Cloud, and I want to share something special about this piece with you. We play this first line twice. It has a repeat sign at the end of it, so we play it the first time mezzo forte, the second time piano. And then this line repeats again at the very end of the song. That's right, the last line is the first line again. That means that once we learn how to play the first line of music here, we know how to play 3 out of 4 of the lines of the song. So let's get to it. Do you remember what scale we said this is written in? That's right, the C scale. So the first note for each hand is going to be a C. Take a look at the notes in the first 2 measures. Do those notes look to you like they're moving by steps or by skips? Space note to space note is skips, and line note to line note is also skips. Now let's take a look at the last 2 measures. Notice that the music on these lines looks like it is moving in towards the middle. These 2 measures are played with what is called contrasting motion. Contrasting motion means that your hands are moving towards or away from each other. So you'll notice this first note here is both 4 fingers, then both 3 fingers, and then both 2 fingers. Now, they are the same finger numbers, but they are different notes on the piano. So it's really important to pay attention to that and to prepare for it. Take a look closely at this part on the piano when we get started so that we are ready for it. Now, there's another thing that I want to look at here, and that is the articulation. That means the legatos and the staccatos. The first 2 measures have a big legato slur all over the top of them, which means that all of the notes in those 2 measures are going to be played connected. But in the contrasting section, there is no legato slur. In fact, there are staccato dots, and the very last note in measure 4 is a dotted half note, so that one needs to be long. So we have 2 measures connected, 1 measure staccato, 1 measure long. Let's move to the piano now and try to play this. We're going to start by warming up measure 3. Measure 3 is in contrasting motion. Contrasting motion indicates that your hands are either moving towards each other like this or away from each other like this. It's different than parallel motion. Parallel motion is when they move in the same direction. Now that you know that measure 3 is in contrasting direction, let me tell you that you will be playing the same finger numbers at the same time. So 4s, then 3s, then 2s. See how they're going toward each other? Can you try this with me? So you need to be in C position in both hands. That means your left hand pinky will be on C and your right hand thumb will be on C. And push down both 4 fingers. In your left hand, that will be a D, and in your right hand, it will be an F. Now move in towards each other. So to your 3s, both E's, and then to your 2s. Now right hand is on a D and left hand is on an F. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. But this measure is supposed to be staccato like this. Can you do that with me? 1, 2, 3. Bounce, bounce, bounce. So we begin with skips and we're moving up the hill. So starting with your pinky in your left hand, you're going to skip, skip. And then thumb in your right hand and skip, skip. And this part is legato. We want it all to be connected. Try it with me. 1, 2, 3. Skip, skip. Skip, skip. Good. From here, we go to that motion we just learned. So we want to connect this pinky to the 4s, but then after that they bounce. And we land with both thumbs playing, but your left hand 3 is also going to play. And this is a long note. It's a dotted half note, so we hold it down. Let's try it together. The whole line beginning in measure 1. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. Left pinky, skip, skip. Middle C, skip, skip. Connect it to the 4s. Now bounce, 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 land. Now we repeat it, and this time we play it quietly. Let's try to do this line quietly now. In order to play staccatos quietly, remember you have to stay close to the keys. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. C, skip, skip. Middle C, skip, skip. Connect it to the 4s, bounce, 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 land. If you feel like you need more practice with that section, please pause the video and practice it. Let's take a look at line 2 now. An important thing to know about line 2 is that every note in here is one step away from the note that came before it. So once we know that, all we have to do is pay careful attention to whether those steps are moving up or down. So this is where we have to keep our eyes right on the note heads. The first note on this line is D, which is also your second finger. From there, we move down, then up, then up, then down, up, up, down, up, up. So the pattern that is repeating on this line is down, up, up. If you are able to keep that pattern in mind, this line is pretty easy to learn. Let's move to the piano. Let's try playing this line together. We are going to start on D, which is your second finger. And this time we are not going to worry about dynamics. We're just going to worry about playing the right notes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. D, down, up, up. Again, down, up, up. And one more, down, up, up. Great. We are going to play that again now, and we're going to add those dynamics in. 1, 2, 3, start with D, quiet. Now like mezzo piano, and now like mezzo forte, and forte. Great. Once again, if you want to, you can pause the video and continue to practice that section. Time to learn the last line? Actually, you already know it. Remember, all of the notes here are the same as the ones in the first line. There are a few markings that are different. At the end, we need to slow down and get softer so that we end piano. The last line is identical to the first line, but we do have the addition that tells us to slow down and get softer at the end. So let's practice what that feels like. We're beginning in measure 9 now. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Left C, skip, skip, middle C, skip, skip. Connect it to both fours, get slower and quieter. Great. We are going to play the whole thing now. Let's start and measure 1, mezzo forte for the first time. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Skip, skip, middle C, skip, skip. Both fours come in, bounce, 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 land. Ah, quiet. Skip, skip, middle C, skip, skip. Bounce, 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 da, ah. Start on D quietly, down, up, now like mezzo piano, down, up, mezzo forte, down, up, forte. Ah, back to C, skip, skip, middle C. Remember to slow down and get softer. Bounce, bounce, quiet. Ah. You've learned how to play classic dance. Great job. What do you do now? Keep practicing until you feel very comfortable with the notes, and then head over to the tempo workshop video to work on speeding it up so we get it to that tempo marking. Great work today.